This is CBC Nova Scotia News.
Tonight, lawyer investigation. A Halifax man who died is accused of extorting explicit photos from his clients. We'll tell you about a first-of-its-kind UNESCO Place of History designation for Africville. And Gobblefest, one of Nova Scotia's longest-running alternative music festivals, is back.
Chance for some showers, also the chance for some northern lights across the province for tonight. Looking at some breezy conditions for Friday. Your full forecast is coming up.
Good evening. Details are emerging about criminal allegations against a Halifax lawyer who died in March, just days after police searched his home and office. Court records unsealed by a judge at CBC's request reveal that defense lawyer Billy Sparks had been accused of extorting explicit photos from clients. Sparks was never charged before his death, but the police investigation continues. The CBC's Richard Cuthbertson joins me now. So, Richard, what do we know about the alleged victims and the allegations against their lawyer?
Well, their names are redacted from the court records, but they were young men, according to investigators, who had little money or family support, were vulnerable, and had drug or alcohol addictions. Billy Sparks, who ran a criminal defense practice, was their lawyer. And according to allegations outlined in court records, two alleged victims told police Sparks would request explicit photos in exchange for representing them in court. In another case, a woman went to police after going through messages on her boyfriend's phone that showed that Sparks, who was his lawyer, was paying him for sexual photos and encounters. And in another case, a mother went to police after finding an explicit message from Sparks on her son's phone, and because she suspected Sparks was giving him alcohol and marijuana in breach of his court-ordered release conditions.
So, Richard, police searched Billy Sparks' home, which was also his law office, on March the 14th. What did they find?
Well, among the items seized were 2 cell phones, 2 computers, and 45 storage devices such as USB sticks, external hard drives, and SD cards. Now, this is where a significant complication arises. Billy Sparks was a lawyer with dozens of clients. So some of what was seized contains material that has solicitor-client privilege, and that means it cannot be turned over to police. In fact, almost everything that was seized from the home was taken to secure storage at the Law Courts building in downtown Halifax. Now, police will not be able to access any of that until it has been carefully vetted.
So, Billy Sparks died in March, just a few days after the police search. Why are police then continuing to investigate?
Yeah, well, Billy Sparks died by suicide, and this is a good question. If their chief suspect is dead, what is it that police are pursuing? I spoke with the senior Crown prosecutor, Peter Dostal, who is helping police gain access to the non-privileged materials that were seized. He said that given the troubling nature of what he calls an extraordinary case of, in his words, a lawyer preying on his clients, there is a real public interest in taking the investigation right to its end. Police, he said, want to make sure there aren't any more victims, and they also want to be certain that Billy Sparks didn't have any accomplices.
All right, fascinating story, Richard. That's the CBC's Richard Cuthbertson reporting for us tonight. Hurricane Milton is now heading out to sea as a Category 1 storm. It roared ashore near Sarasota on the Gulf Coast of Florida yesterday evening as a Category 3 hurricane and tore across the state overnight. So far, 5 deaths have been confirmed. The storm brought winds that topped 200 kilometers per hour. More than 400 millimeters of rain fell in some areas, triggering flash flooding. The hurricane spawned dozens of tornadoes along its outer edges. Millions of people have been left without power. Emergency workers are now focusing on search and rescue efforts rather than cleanup. Despite the damage, Florida officials say the state avoided the worst-case scenario. So that is the situation in Florida. Now for a look at the weather a little closer to home. Here's Ryan.
Yeah, that's right, Tom. Keeping the eye on the skies for tonight. As I mentioned in the headlines, not just for what the conditions are going to be, but what they will be aloft, way aloft. And yes, the northern lights tonight, There's a solar storm underway, and yeah, the Space Weather Protection Center has issued a magnetic storm warning, and because of that, boy, those northern lights should put on a show tonight, especially in the north. But with the KP index between 7 and 8, that puts us right in the line for good potential to see the northern lights. So again, the higher the index, the greater the chance we'll see them here this far south. So the ultimate question, how will the skies fare? Well, we are looking at some of those isolated showers we've been seeing throughout the day today. It's going to remain partly cloudy for tonight. And yeah, so pretty good viewing conditions, not only this evening, but into the overnight. So keep your eye on the sky if you're out walking the dog. And it does look like Cape Breton will see the greatest chance of the clouds being likely a bit stubborn at times, and that will continue again tomorrow with scattered showers for Cape Breton and along that Northumberland shore. Looking at a fair day for most of the mainland with a mix of sun and cloud. You can see temperatures are going to be ranging between around 10 and 13 degrees, so it will be very October-like with those northwest winds for the most part in that 20, gusting 30 to 40 range. As we move into the Saturday time period, we're still looking at more showers that are going to be in the mix, especially into the afternoon, and winds turning quite gusty on the other side of this trough that is going to be rolling its way through as we work into the afternoon and evening. Could see widespread gusts, 50 to 70 kilometers per hour, Tom, but even stronger gusts than that down and through the south and west. A quieter Sunday. We'll talk all about that with your full forecast details coming up.
Looking forward to it. Okay, Ryan, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Well, Daycare in Fairview has won its appeal after a Halifax fire inspector ordered the center to install fire sprinklers. The Daycare says the cost was too much, and the Nova Scotia Utility Review Board says the business already meets the legal fire requirements. Selena Alders reports.
Happy Tots Daycare is licensed for 63 kids from infants to preschoolers. It's been up and running for nearly 40 years. In January, a Halifax fire inspector issued an order to install sprinklers in the building by March 2024. He was specifically concerned about the infant room, where 11 babies often take naps throughout the day. But Assistant Director Anna Marie Young appealed.
I had one quote that was $125,000, which is beyond our means. We're a small, daycare, family run. We just wouldn't be able to do it.
During the appeal hearing, Young argued the daycare has many other fire safety precautions. One consists of putting the infants in a fire-safe crib and carrying them out during an emergency. But Inspector Webb was skeptical.
For staff to be able to maneuver out through the building, over the door thresholds, downstairs and away from the building, to my way of thinking, there's some issues with that on a good day, let alone in a fire situation.
I have no concerns whatsoever that my children are safe. We go above and beyond to keep our children safe here.
On Wednesday, the UARB determined that Happy Tots can continue operating without modifications to the building, mainly because the age of the business allows them to adhere to previous safety policies.
I'm just, proud of us that we were able to make a stand, and it helps all the other daycares in HRM that are now going to be grandfathered in, and it sets a precedent for them. So I'm very happy.
Throughout the hearing process, the daycare received 10 letters of support from families. One parent wrote, "If the daycare closes, it will be impossible to find any care for my daughter." Young says she's grateful for all the support and is relieved that she can now carry on business as usual.
An HRM spokesperson told CBC in an email that it's received the decision and it will be reviewed by fire safety officials to determine what, if any, actions may be taken. Selena Alders, CBC News, Halifax.
A water filtration company has appealed the province's decision to revoke its direct seller's permit. In July, the province determined Atlantic Environmental Systems used a pattern of aggressive and high-pressure sales tactics. The company refutes the finding. In its appeal, the Dartmouth company argues Service Nova Scotia committed errors of law, including the decision to revoke its permit rather than engage in progressive discipline. The appeal also says, among other things, the province failed to consider inconsistencies, contradictions, and gaps in complaints, and made findings that failed to consider the company's evidence. Service Nova Scotia declined comment. The appeal will be heard before a judge on November the 26th. Vaccines for COVID-19 and the flu are now available in Nova Scotia. The first appointments will be on October the 12th for influenza and October the 18th for COVID. The vaccines are available from family doctors, pharmacies, nurse practitioners, public health offices, and mobile units. Appointments can be booked online through the Your Health NS app or by calling your primary care provider. COVID-19 testing requirements will also change. Rapid and PCR tests will be limited to those who have symptoms and are at risk, meaning they have a weakened immune system or are over the age of 65. Some of the people running to be mayor of Halifax spoke at a community meeting in Cole Harbour last night. The district has changed this election. Now, the historic African Nova Scotian communities of North and East Preston, Cherrybrook, and Lake Loon are in one riding alongside Westfall and Cole Harbour. Candidates talked about housing and transit, but also how to address gun violence that disproportionately affects Black communities.
Trying to build enhanced programs so that our youth can have a viable solution rather than be attracted towards gun violence and in the streets.
In order to move forward, we need to heal, and that means ensuring that there is a Black-led movement and an organization that is respected, understanding that the core of reparations and reconciliation is what's needed.
While the province is involved and the feds are involved, Halifax has to lead that process and make sure that an African Nova Scotian-led process of healing and reparation and land transfers happens in Africville.
Understanding what those challenges are, not just in the acts of violence, but the underlying causes for that violence in the first place. The racial profiling, the generations of discrimination in this community.
The historic Black Nova Scotia community of Africville has received a United Nations designation as an important place of history. The community in the north end of Halifax is already a National Historic Site. It is now recognized as Canada's first UNESCO place of history and memory linked to enslavement. Gareth Hampshire reports.
Years of work has gone into earning the designation, which recognizes Africville as a thriving community, established in the early 1800s by people of African descent, many of whom were formerly enslaved. It credits their creation of a place of refuge in Halifax, even through major challenges, including not being provided with the same city services like paved roads or running water. The news is already generating a big response.
We were shocked at how many people from around the world were now connecting with us in just 8 hours of this announcement being made.
There are now big hopes this designation, that is a first in Canada, will help with future plans.
These lands are now internationally protected lands under UNESCO, that the lands will never bear any other name other than Africville.
Former residents of Africville were here yesterday watching a live stream of the announcement, and they're pleased what their community has gone through is being recognized on the global stage.
It felt excellent just to hear the name Africville out towards the whole world to hear.
She still remembers having to leave after the community was torn down for the development of the McKay Bridge, which the Canadian Commission for UNESCO describes as dehumanizing.
When they disperse us, they just push you somewhere and you're on your own. No follow-up, no nothing.
Those who helped make this announcement in Paris happen are keen to see some basic improvements now, like public transportation to the area that's difficult to get to without a car, creating the feeling of still being cut off from the city.
We need politicians at the municipal level to recognize the treacherous trip that one has to take to get no sidewalks, no metro transit.
The site's international recognition could now carry more weight when it comes to proposals for an interpretive center and a marina, as well as possible plans to develop infill in front of the museum.
When we sit down and we can boast about not only a national historic site, but now with a UNESCO designation attached to that.
They're also happy the spirit and resilience of Africville comes through in the UN announcement, and now work will start to figure out how it can be applied. But first, a larger announcement and public events being planned to celebrate the designation. Gareth Hampshire, CBC News, Halifax.
One of Nova Scotia's longest-running alternative music festivals begins today. Sydney's Gobblefest is back, and this time around, it's celebrating a milestone. Aaron Potty has that story.
At Caper Radio, staff and volunteers are getting ready for a Thanksgiving weekend filled with music, along with fun and friendships.
It's called Gobblefest because it happens during Thanksgiving weekend and turkeys and stuff. I wasn't there for like the meeting 30 years ago why it's called Gobblefest, but yeah, I can only say it's the turkey for Thanksgiving, and then all of us all weekend are constantly saying gobble gobble.
Cape Breton University's campus radio station started what's known as Gobblefest in 1994 as a fundraiser. Since that time, it's created a community of people passionate about the local music scene. One important aspect of the festival are its all-ages shows, which give teenagers the space to watch and perform.
Bringing the kids in and giving them a place to play and have fun is something that keeps our station alive, but also keeps our community going.
Jesse Rose started going to Gobblefest in Sydney as a teenager. Now he's a drummer in the local band Conductor.
It's just a weekend full of hanging out with your friends and listening to wicked tones. It's not that deep, but it's also it's a really nice thing that we have every year, just to hang out with our friends and do fun stuff, listen to rock. You know what I mean?
Before Gobblefest, Roe was playing guitar in his bedroom alone. He says the festival inspired him to play in bands. He's now passing that inspiration on to the next generation.
It's really humbling, because you know what I mean? I was once that young fella going up to all the guys at the show, just peppering them with questions, tell me about guitars and amps and all this and songs and stuff like that. And I get the same thing now today, and it does warm my heart, because it's
This year's festival features 40 Nova Scotian artists performing at over a dozen concerts. That includes bar shows, all-ages shows, pay-what-you-can shows, and even free shows. Aaron Potty, CBC News, Sydney.
And there is beautiful Grand Pré, such an iconic image for Acadians in this province. Beautiful day there. Ryan back with your full weather forecast on what things might look like in the future in just a few minutes. All right, all eyes on the weekend now. It's close enough, right? It's fair enough to be looking at the long weekend and figuring out your weather and your plans.
100%. There's a couple big keys that we're going to be focusing in on. I kind of alluded to them in the first hit, but the wind is going to be right. You know, we really haven't had much wind.
It's true. We're going to get it the long weekend, though.
We are.
Okay.
So I think, the leaves have been kind of pristine. They've been changing. Nice. We've been able to enjoy it. But there's going to be some leaves blowing around this weekend for sure, particularly Saturday afternoon into Saturday evening. Have a look at first our webcam video. This is a live shot. How about
isn't
that?
It? Yeah, that's perfectly timed, isn't it?
Lower Truro. What a scene there. Beautiful sunset right now.
Two chairs, too. There's two chairs there.
Right? One for you, one for me, buddy. We'll head over there. They don't need us for the rest of the show.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. So yes, a beautiful scene there. Temperatures right now across the province, single digits in Antigonish right now, and across parts of Cape Breton, Ingonish Beach, Sydney, 12 in Truro, 14 Lunenburg, 12 in Halifax. And as we look at those winds, we got the Humidex there. We don't need that. There are the weather systems. That's what we were wanting to get to. The winds have indeed been in from the west to northwest today, sustained around 10 to 20 kilometers per hour. The winds are going to be picking up, though, and you can see we've been just looking at these scattered showers, mainly across New Brunswick and the northeast, but some of those have clipped into Halifax from time to time, and more of that this evening. But it's going to be kind of the same as it was today, where it'll rain for 5 minutes and then it'll be gone again. And so if you are heading out this evening to try and catch the Northern Lights, and I'll show you that map again, just be mindful to take the umbrella with you. You can see there's the trough that we're going to be watching, and that will spark some windier weather for us on Saturday. There are the winds. I knew I planted this map in here somewhere. 10, 20, even 30 in Westport right now, and at Caribou Point as well. The gusts upwards of 30 to 40 kilometers per hour. Now to the Northern Lights, and for tonight, the winds will be persistently breezy, so a heads up on that. And again, the KP index, the higher the better for us, 7 to 8, and so that puts us in the wheelhouse for the possibility to view those Northern Lights tonight. And we will indeed, as we'll show you the timeline, have a chance for some showers through this evening and into the overnight. Those northwest winds, 20 gusting to 40, and you can see the best chance of showers will be here through this evening. As we move into the overnight, the mainland will be turning quiet. Cape Breton will continue to see those showers overnight and into Friday. Bit of a cloudy start across the mainland, and then I think we will see at least a mix of sun and cloud into the afternoon. Cape Breton remains pretty capped in terms of the cloud cover for tomorrow, though the potential for some sun breaks in there. Temperatures 11 to 13 degrees across Cape Breton, 10 barely getting into the double digits for the Northumberland Shore, New Glasgow to Antigonish tomorrow, back into the mainland. And we should be, for the most part, in the 11 to 12, 13 range. And a little warmer down here towards the south and west, especially down towards Liverpool and Shelburne, where we should crack 14 and 15 degrees. Saturday, sunshine early, and then the potential for some sunshine late, but a good chance for scattered showers throughout the day as we're timing this trough line out. So there's Saturday morning, couple sun breaks. Showers roll through, and then into the afternoon and evening, again, we'll start to clear again, probably after sunset, though. But as that trough comes through, it will be breezy, and we're going to show you that map in just a sec. Sunday, again, looking good. That's going to be our brightest day of the weekend. So let's time out these wind gusts, and you can see for Friday, we will be seeing some gusts in the 50 kilometer per hour range. And then for Saturday, the winds will initially be in from the southwest. Full gust, 30, 40, maybe 50 kilometers per hour. But then after the trough comes through and the winds shift to west-northwest, kind of widespread gusts in the 50, 60, 70 kilometers per hour. And yeah, some forecast models flirting with some gusts upwards of 80 kilometers per hour, Yarmouth and Shelburne. And I know there's some events happening down and through the southwest this weekend, particularly in the Shelburne area. So isolated shower chances on Sunday. I'll be keeping an eye on that for Cape Breton, but the rest of the mainland will be fine. Looking at those showers and even some periods of rain on Monday. Temperatures bump up, and then back down we go as the roller coaster ride of October continues, Tom.
All right, we can handle it. Thanks so much, Ryan.
Thank you.
Well, an upside to the days getting shorter and temperatures cooler is the vibrant autumn colors on full display. That's especially true in western Newfoundland. But as Colleen Connors reports, climate warming could mean leaves turning color even later in the fall.
Is there anything more stunning than these West Coast colors? Now, you may have noticed that this fall feeling came a little bit later this season. One expert says that has to do with climate change. Now, I'm going to tell you all about that and how it may be impacting the tourism industry here on the West Coast. Red, yellow, oranges, views bursting with color. Changes in temperature and daylight trigger the change, but warmer weather means a longer growing season for trees and a later fall. Loic Dorangeville studies forest ecology. He's been studying different species of trees and leaf patterns, recording it all year after year.
We do have some data, and it does suggest that we have a later leaf fall every year, but it's not as over decades, it's not such a strong signal.
Now, the delay could be a few days, even a week. A subtle shift that could have a major impact on Corner Brook's growing cruise ship market. It's a big moneymaker. We've already seen more than 30 ships this season. And thousands of those passengers, well, they time their trips around the leaves.
So, of course, the whole Canada-New England region is known for its fall colors. So we work with an alliance called CC&E, and our job is to market our region for the fall. So cruise lines tend to know us as the fall of the year. They expect the colors, they expect the cooler temperatures for people traveling from warmer places. It's what we're known for, and we love that. But of course, we are looking to expand in the future and promote ourselves more as a summer destination as well.
6 more ships are due to dock this month, 1 in November. Now, Dorangeville says later fall leaves isn't cause for climate concern just yet, but there are bigger repercussions.
But as the season extends, you know, those drier July and August month, they usually are kind of canceled by the September cool temperatures. Precipitation come back and there's less, you know, evaporation, and so the water storage gets restored. But then if the season extends, you might get more of these late summer droughts. So that might be a negative impact in the long term.
Though not a huge concern here in Newfoundland and Labrador. As for that cruise ship schedule, well, they may have to pull into port a little bit later if the tourists want to catch those colors. Colleen Connors, CBC News, Corner Brook.
Coming up, a new report reveals that despite a population boom, economic growth in the Atlantic region is slowing. That's the subject of our Newsmaker interview right after the break. The latest Atlantic Canada Momentum Index shows that the strong economic momentum has slowed as this region tries to address the challenges that come with what it calls boom times and unprecedented population growth. Edward Greenspun is CEO of the Public Policy Forum. Thanks so much for coming in.
Great to be here with you.
So the report says there's still growth here, but it is tentative now. Why is that the case?
Well, first of all, the growth, and then the tentative, if I will. You know, this place has momentum, and we had a theory, a hypothesis that it had momentum a couple of years ago, coming out of the Atlantic bubble with a whole bunch of things going on, immigration starting to happen, population growing again, and we tested that with the index. And now I'd say, you know, there's a lot of good news around immigration, around population growth, around age, average age getting lower, exports, you know, GDP per capita, a lot of good news. Tentative, though, because this is a 10-year project. You know, if you're really going to build a sustainable economy, which I think the promise is there to do, and there's a couple of things that still have to be worked on. Immigration retention isn't great, and particularly investment. Private sector non-housing investment in the region is low, about 70% of Canada's average. So investing in new businesses today, new projects, that's prosperity tomorrow, and that needs to pick up.
Okay, so that you're touching on something that has been an issue in our past here as well, not just in the last couple of years, but you know, dating back farther, much farther than that. Why is that happening?
Well, I think people don't necessarily have enough confidence in the region. I mean, that's true of Canada as a whole. Investment has fallen off in Canada entirely, but there's not the momentum, if I may say, you know, of that happening. People are still just getting used to the idea that this is a dynamic region. You know, they used to have the idea this is a have-not region. It didn't have that same form of dynamism. Now it does. And I don't think that's been advertised enough in the region, and certainly not outside the region.
So there's growth here, and then people will talk about managing the momentum, because with growth comes other issues, housing concerns and so on. So when you look at that bigger picture, what are you seeing out there?
Well, what I'm seeing is, you know, I'm kind of dividing this into the good, the bad, and the us too. Mm-hmm. And the us too is almost all of those issues are issues that the whole country is suffering. So Atlantic Canada is not unique in having a housing crisis, but that doesn't make it less real for the people who are living that housing crisis. And I worry a little bit that there could be backlash against certain things, particularly immigration. Immigration's a boon for this region, and both people coming in from, you know, who may have been from this region originally or other parts of Canada, and people coming from other countries. This is good, but if you can't get housing right, and it can't have enough doctors around, and you know, people feel insecure about that sort of thing, they'll be less satisfied. And satisfaction is one thing that has definitely dropped off in this year's index. Again, not unique to Atlantic Canada, but if you live in Atlantic Canada, that's your experience, and you want to not have that as your experience.
And so it's a bit of a chicken and egg thing, I suppose, but maybe some people would look at this and say, okay, maybe it's okay if we back off things a little bit on the momentum front. And others will say, no, we have to keep going. There's a lot more work to do to build a more, as you say, more vibrant economy here. So where do you find the middle ground?
Well, I don't know if you should be looking for the middle ground. I agree that might be the trade-off for some people. But, you know, if you take housing, for instance, the real issue around housing is that we don't have the supply coming on. We're not building houses as fast as the population is growing in the country, and certainly in the region. And that mostly because we throw up all kinds of impediments to the building. We're building fewer houses today than we were 10 and 20 years ago. So let's just get back to the 10 or 20 years ago, and let's solve the problem that way, because you don't want to solve the problem by, you know, shrinking the country and shrinking the economy. When you have more people coming into this region, then that average age gets better. You have more people to support seniors, have more people who are paying taxes into a healthcare system. So I don't think the answer is to find a happy medium. I think the medium is unhappy.
Okay, and so what do you do? What do you see next 6 months, a year, 2 years out? What do they need to be doing here?
Well, I think the thing that I would really want to concentrate on, a lot of people have talked about this for a lot of years, so it's easy to say and hard to do, of course, is Atlantic Canada treating itself more as a region. So the Atlantic bubble was a really good demonstration of coordinated policy, being a region, working on the kind of social cohesion that occurs here. So, you know, people could hang out with each other and they didn't infect each other as much. People went and got their shots, which wasn't true necessarily everywhere across the country. So I think if you can go from Atlantic bubble to Atlantic boom. Just take those kinds of elements, and particularly around internal trade barriers. So here's where I would focus if I had a focus, and I don't get to make a decision like that. But if people are listening, which I'm sure they are, Tom, I would say bring down the internal trade barriers. Make the movement of people, which we've seen some around healthcare workers, make the movement of capital, make the movement of goods easy within the region. Get ahead of Canada, which has messed this up. There's a really interesting juxtaposition of statistics I've seen recently. People say that the internal trade barriers in Canada cost us about 4% of the size of the economy. And people say that if Trump imposed a 10% barrier, a 10% tariff on Canada, that would cost us about 4% of the economy. So if he's threatening to put it on, why don't we take it off ourselves and just call it even?
Interesting way to look at it. Thanks so much for coming in. Appreciate this.
Thanks for having me.
Coming up, we'll head back to Florida. Milton slams into the Gulf Coast, leaving damage and devastation behind. And UN peacekeepers in Lebanon say Israel has fired on their bases deliberately. Welcome back. Hurricane Milton, as we told you earlier, is now heading out over the Atlantic, losing strength as it goes. It roared ashore near Sarasota on the Gulf Coast of Florida yesterday evening as a Category 3 hurricane and made its way through the state overnight. So far, 5 deaths have been confirmed. The CBC's Katie Simpson has the latest.
Let's show you a little bit of the damage from last night's storm. You can see those hurricane force winds. They absolutely just shredded some of the trees here. Trees coming down on fences, destroying fences. We have lots of branches, lots of debris. This is very close to where the storm actually made landfall. And right now there's a major effort underway to actually clean things up. People are out on their lawns. They're bringing out buckets of debris as they try to sort of get a better sense of just how bad the damage is here. At the peak of the storm, more than 4 million people in Florida losing power, so major efforts are underway right now to restore power. But people who live in these communities, they are really reeling after this moment, because this community that we're in right now, it was actually hit less than 2 weeks ago by Hurricane Helene.
It was loud. The power went out early, I'd say about 6:30, blue flashes everywhere, and the wind started blowing. I think we got the first eye wall, and then the second. I think it was windy till about 3:30 this morning. A lot of wind, a lot of rain, and just loud.
Were you scared at all?
A little bit. I mean, people that say they want to live and ride out a hurricane, I don't know why. it's a scary thing.
How you feeling?
Exhausted, but ready to rebuild and get the house back to normal. That's why the first thing I put up was the flag. So we're not afraid around here, and we're all helping everybody.
Search and rescue efforts remain the priority. They are actively underway. If there is any sort of good news out of this, we heard from Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, who says the worst case scenario didn't play out.
The storm did weaken before landfall, and the storm surge, as initially reported, has not been as significant overall as what was observed for Hurricane Helene.
But that said, Hurricane Milton still carved a deadly swath of destruction that is going to take weeks, if not months, to recover from. Katie Simpson, CBC News in Palmetto, Florida.
UN peacekeepers in Lebanon are accusing Israeli forces of firing on them. They say there have been 3 incidents since yesterday. The charge came on the same day as the latest in a string of controversial attacks involving schools in Gaza. Crystal Gumansing reports, and just a warning, some viewers may find some of the images in this story disturbing.
There was an airstrike on a former school turned into shelter for displaced people. We can show you some images captured by a freelance cameraman hired by CBC, really showing the chaos and disturbing nature of that scene. As you would expect from a displaced people's shelter, there were adults and children being housed there. Israel Defense Forces saying that it was a targeted strike, that Hamas was using that compound as an operations center and operations that were being organized that would put the lives of Israeli soldiers and Israeli citizens at risk. They are also saying that they took steps to mitigate the risk to civilians, that they used precision munitions, that they used aerial surveillance and extra intelligence for that strike. There was also a strike in Gaza City. This one was on a clinic. Again, it was a clinic being used as a shelter for displaced people. We saw a number of people going into the rubble trying to look for survivors. In that incident, there have been a number of individuals wounded, rushed to hospital, which is again another issue because the hospitals are just so challenged to deal with these sort of injuries. In the meantime, across the border in the conflict in Lebanon, there is a new issue being raised, this time by UNIFIL. Those are the peacekeepers that maintain the blue line, the division line between Israel and Lebanon. Those peacekeepers have been reportedly fired on 3 different occasions. And UNIFIL put out a statement reminding all parties, including the IDF and all actors, of their obligations to ensure the safety and security of UN personnel as well as property. 2 UN peacekeepers were injured earlier, and they are still currently in hospital. Crystal Gumansing, CBC News, Jerusalem.
Justin Trudeau held more meetings in Laos today with leaders of the Southeast Asian ASEAN bloc. And today, the focus was challenges posed by China. Ashley Burke reports.
At a cafe in Vientiane, a rare meeting with Five Eyes intelligence partners face to face.
We've been leaning in on so many of the challenges, whether it's cyber or in various geopolitical conflicts that we've been working as strong allies on.
The Prime Ministers of Canada, Australia, and New Zealand discussed threats from China and shared security concerns.
We see a world that I think is moving from rules to power.
All three countries have already accused China of foreign interference, a massive cyber espionage campaign, and trade tariffs.
We did share our reflections about our experiences with China, and I think what we came out of there is this commitment together to make sure that we continue to uphold rules-based trade and to work together.
At the ASEAN summit, the Philippines president called for an immediate code of conduct in the South China Sea. It accuses Chinese vessels of dangerous maneuvers and close calls to intimidate his country from using the vital trade artery.
We are very grateful, of course, for Canada's continuing support in terms of the upholding of the rule of law.
Canada recently gave the Philippines access to its satellite technology to detect Chinese vessels' movements.
It really prevents the Chinese from using their merchant vessels as well as Coast Guard vessels to bully Southeast Asian countries on those territorial disputes.
But China's premier was defiant that all countries outside Asia should stay out of regional issues.
Together we face numerous daunting challenges.
Trudeau told the summit he's committed to tackling challenges and improving trade relations together. The Prime Minister also announced Canada will upgrade its mission in Laos and Cambodia to full embassies as he tries to position Canada as a bigger player in the region. Ashley Burke, CBC News, Vientiane, Laos.
The Nobel Prize in Literature is awarded this year to a South Korean author, the first literature laureate to hail from that country.
The Nobel Prize in Literature for 2024 is awarded to South Korean author Han Kang for her intense poetic prose that confronts historical traumas and exposes the fragility of human life.
Han Kang's award-winning literary career began in 1993 with a published series of poems. She has since gone on to release a number of short story collections and novels, most notably The Vegetarian, which was awarded the 2016 Booker Prize. Her novel Human Acts was a finalist for the 2018 Booker as well. Han Kang is only the 18th woman among 120 laureates to win the Nobel Prize in Literature, though 5 of the last 10 winners have been female authors. A new survey shows that nearly a quarter of Canadians are turning to gig work. Millions of people are supplementing their full-time salaries in an effort to keep up with the rising cost of living. Susanna De Silva reports.
3, 2, 1.
Emma Tsui has the morning off from her full-time job, that is.
It is a juggle because after working hour, after full-time job, if I'm not doing a photo shoot, then I'm editing photos.
Okay, that's good.
She took up photography after losing her job during COVID, but even after getting another full-time job working on the website of a Canadian airline, she didn't stop.
If I don't have that additional income, then I'm basically living paycheck to paycheck.
3, 2.
Her story is one shared by millions of Canadians, according to a new survey by insurance company Securian in partnership with the Angus Reid Institute. It found 22% of Canadians, or 7.3 million people, are doing gig work. That is short-term contract work or one-off projects. Only a small fraction of those are food delivery or ride-sharing.
There's a lot of diverse gig work out there, like dog walking, photography, consulting, digital platforms.
And financial need is a big driver, with 53% doing gig work to cover increasing basic costs or to be able to put some money aside, despite the fact 56% have full-time jobs and 44% already earn more than $100,000 from their primary job.
Even folks that are earning incomes that we would have thought would be more than sufficient in previous times are really feeling some financial stress.
But this expert says it is employers who have been pushing the trend for years.
where they're not necessarily going to be offering the same level of, of benefits. They're not making pension contributions.
Luckily for Matsui, her photography gig has taken off.
The additional income coming from photography allows me to save for my first down payment, as well as, I use that money for travels and whatnot. So just to live a little bit more.
Yeah, one more.
Like many Canadians, her side gig is now a much-needed part of life. Susanna da Silva, CBC News, Vancouver.
Tennis superstar Rafael Nadal is retiring. The 38-year-old's announcement came in a video on social media.
Hola a todos, estoy aquí para comunicaros que me retiro del tenis profesional.
In this life, he said, everything has a beginning and an end. Nadal's career will end with 22 Grand Slam tournament wins, second only to Novak Djokovic, including a staggering 14 at the French Open, where in 116 matches he lost just 4. Nadal said retirement was a difficult decision, but that he could no longer play without limitations. His final tournament will be next month's Davis Cup in his home country of Spain. Canada's main stock index ticked up today thanks to higher commodity prices, while U.S. markets fell from what were record highs. Here's a look at how the markets did today as we head to break. All right, yeah, beautiful this time of year in this province. We've been blessed with fantastic weather as well. We had that piece earlier in the show tonight about changing colors of leaves and the impact of climate change on that. But yeah, some beautiful sights popping up in Nova Scotia as well.
Yeah, that's right. Definitely seeing more frequent picks coming into Ryan's picks at cbc.ca, and do keep them coming. Have a look at this picture. For this one, we're going to zoom into the HRM, and this is a great provincial park if you haven't been there. Jerry Lawrence Provincial Park, and yes.
Oh, yeah.
Brian Wambach.
The mist on the water.
The reflection.
Yeah. Yeah,
plus
there's so much
mist.
going on there, isn't there?
Yeah. Really, really vibrant pick. Thanks to Brian for sharing. Ryan's picks at cbc.ca. If you're out over the next couple days, I mean, those fall colors are really peaking, really popping, I shouldn't say. I don't know about peaking just yet everywhere, but I am a bit fearful that wind is going to do some damage in the next couple days. Westerly winds will kick in tomorrow, gusting 40 to 50 kilometers per hour, northwest to northwest winds. Saturday will also be breezy, first from the southwest, and then from the northwest on the other side of the frontal boundary. So the southwest winds will pop our temperatures into the 14 to 17 range. Then those temps will drop as the winds kick in on the other side of that trough. So there is Friday. And again, variable clouds, especially on the mainland. Cape Breton, likely cloudier than not. And there's that trough, swings through the showers, and then that northwest wind, again, really punching into the afternoon and evening. Sunday looks quiet, both wind-wise and in the skies, with just an isolated chance of a shower for Cape Breton. Wet weather back on tap for Thanksgiving Monday, with temperatures, again, a little bit up. And then down we go again, maybe low double digits again as we work our way into Wednesday.
That's the way it is this time of year, huh?
Yeah, for sure.
All right, well, it's the end of an era in Las Vegas with the demolition of the Tropicana, the last casino linked to Sin City's mob days. Yeah, the legendary Tropicana went out in true Vegas style yesterday with fireworks as the opening act for the implosion.
Built in 1957, the casino and hotel had ties to the organized crime through mobster Frank Costello. The Tropicana was also featured as Michael Corleone's casino in the movie The Godfather Part 2. It was demolished to make way for future baseball stadium for the relocating Oakland Athletics.
If you didn't get your bets in by now, you're not going to get them.
Yep.
That's it for us tonight. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time.
Good night.